Australia in the final, don't we? We're all taking a week off.
Fair enough. Labour for Papua New Guinea, starting from deep inside their own half again here.
I think he'll be happy that Papua New Guinea are putting a bit of play together now and challenging defensively this England side, because you don't want it all your own way going into the tougher games.
Lam's going to kick on the last. His dad was a superstar at this stadium. Tompkins has gone backwards. Little hand of apology to his teammates for the fumble, and then maybe wishes he hadn't run into Sylvester Nano.
Cheap rattler. Well, we're already saying at the start of this second half that whatever Stanley has said to his players, there's been a difference. They've got 2 exit kicks away. They've managed to get some kick chasing in amongst that and get out of their own half. So you're right, Kev. England want a little bit more of a challenge than they got in the first half, but what they've perhaps got to come next week.
They were flying in this set. The back of their attack up with some good defence.
Penalty. And in after the tackle was complete. Jodie Cunningham and Emily Rudge, 2 of the England players, sitting with Her Royal Highness there, just explaining 1 or 2 of the subtleties of rugby league, no doubt, and explaining how well they're doing as well. The England women's team with a 54-4 win against Canada earlier today. That certainly sets a standard. Big game against Papua New Guinea for England's women this next week. The last group game, but they're definitely in the semi-finals, as are England's men. And the evidence of what we're watching here at the moment. Makalora. Williams wants the ball and wants a dash. Papua New Guinea's pincer defence closes quickly. Player left on the ground. Wellesby. And here is an effort from Knowles. There's going to be put down. Simbakin, who's back in the line, he's okay. Papua New Guinea in second row, but England coming with more now. Wellesby steps away, and the kick. Tompkins is after it, and it's stabbed out of play by Nutlick, and a drop out from underneath the sticks for PNG.
And it's great to see that all 3 pivots, Tompkins, Wellesby and Williams, just playing eyes up and playing so confident. It was Williams who took the carry and left Simbakin down on the floor, and then Tompkins just pointed for Wellesby to kick the ball, and he just responded with a fantastic executed kick.
Yeah, I think it's long game football that we're seeing. We need to be seeing that from England, because when they do get the challenges, Kangaroos, the Kiwis, happens to be Tonga or Samoa next week, we're going to have to play some long game football and make sure that they can find kicks of that quality.
He probably needs to go for a head test. He's caught the hip of George Williams, and that's what George gives you. He's such a dynamic, powerful halfback when he's running the ball. I don't know where he is. I don't think he needs to go off.
He's trying to convince the physio that he's okay to stay on.
He's not good there. He's took that out the side of the head. He looks so cold.
Jeremiah Simbakin. His second Papua New Guinea appearance here today. Made his debut against Wales last Sunday. And here comes Matty Lees, leading the first charge. That's a good response from the PNG defence. So Macalorum squaring things up for Morgan Knowles, and she's trying to burst again. The ball has come free. Cooper has lost it.
I mean, it's hard to replicate the outstanding skill of the team in the white jumpers. At the start of that first half, and a couple of loose carries, a couple of errors, and it's kind of flattened off not the atmosphere, but the expectation now on England is every time they get the ball, they're expected to either make a break or find a kick play or find a score.
Yeah, and I think scoreboard-wise, they don't need to replicate the first half and score 38 points. They just need to stop turning the ball over and stay patient behind the kicking game, because that's what brought them points in the first half. They weren't chasing points. It was just a process that they were following. It looks like they've gone a little bit away from that there, and Sean Wayne is a little bit upset with how they've started this second half and finished the first half.
It's another head injury assessment here, so that's a couple now, isn't it?
I think that's the one that Simbakin, who went down before, he's finally succumbed to the injury.
Yeah.
the problem with replicating what you did in the first half is the other mob get to say something about it. So they've clearly aimed up a little bit better, the Cummels, and it makes it a little bit more difficult. And as Kev quite rightly says, this is not a bad thing for England.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of pride.
Justin Holland has just carted the ball straight at Callum Watkins. Watkins has bent his back and folded him in half and a bit back of their own medicine, so to speak.
We're talking about young players who've come into this squad. Some of the older players who've been rejuvenated in this World Cup, and Callum Watkins is one of those, isn't he?
Callum Watkins, Chris Hill. You could probably even put George Williams in there as well.
Yeah.
I think form-wise, he's a superstar who's not been at that level. He looks full of confidence again now. Chris Hill, he just rolled back the years. He looks one of the best front rowers in the world again.
Lamb drops it back on the inside. Eric trying to take it on, a strider too, but wrapped around. Dixon put rather wrapped around by English defenders. Last play here for Papua New Guinea. Lamb will put the kick in the air. It's very high. Sam Tompkins has an eye on it all the way, catches it safely. And here's Tommy Makinson to lead the charge out of those 20 metres. Tompkins, England's line now back behind the play the ball. They will be now. Two gone. Sam Tompkins just ushering players back. Another set of six. And on the ball, you might have heard the hooter. Here comes Tompkins. Rather, Makinson.
It's a real strength, the backfield from England. Farnworth, Young, Watkins and Makinson. So many bodies getting forward, and then the forwards take over.
Terrific footwork again there from Watkins.
Well, it was a feature against Samoa right at the opening of this tournament. The back three, or the back five, if you want to include Watkins and Farnworth, destroyed Samoa and then enabled the big fellas to get going. Today, it's been less so because the big blocks have been so effective early in the piece.
Well, they're winding themselves up again here, England. Posing a threat. Williams with a short pass. Whitehead offloads. Williams dashes into the gap. The kick's going to be too strong. Papua New Guinea get back with a tap back on the 20.
Nice play again. First time we saw Elliot Whitehead hitting that line with George Williams. I really think that left edge is threatening. Got Sam Tompkins out the back and Herbie Farnworth. A little bit of second phase play, and George Williams just puts a bit too much on his kick that time. We just look dangerous all over the park, don't we?
So, PNG looking to build, the Cummels. Mentioned this the other week when they were playing against Wales, but such a passion for rugby league in Papua New Guinea. There'll be thousands and thousands and thousands. They'll be sitting in front of television sets. Community spirit, a shared experience. You'll be so disappointed with what they're watching here. As their side look to get themselves not back in the contest, but at least on the score sheet here. Johnston, Lachlan Lamb, little dancing steps. 5 gone, 1 to go. Out goes Ipape, he's going to have a run, a chip and a chase. And it's watched by Makinson, who in the end has to just do the safety first. And that's the best end to a set that PNG have had so far.
Yeah, and that's a bit more like what we expected. Ipape running from 9, causing problems. Lachlan Lamb taking the defence on. He puts a good kick through. His teammates need to back him up there a little bit and chase the kick. But that's just probably the will and the resolve that's been taken out of this Papua New Guinea side. It's in sporadic now. It's 1s and 2s rather than team effort.
So the drop from Tompkins clears the halfway line. It's taken by Johnson, and Papua New Guinea looking to offer a threat right from the start here. Mackenzie Yeh. Debut for him this year against Fiji back in the summer, so it's a relatively new collective at international level. Sprinkling of experience though.
Great line speed from England.
Just doesn't stop, Morgan Knowles. Just does not stop.
Here's Alick. Papua New Guinea trying to roll them back again here. Here's Albert, offloads, untidy, but backwards from Lamb, untidy, but forwards from Leibut. So England's head and feet.
I think they brought Mike McMeekin on at front row. I think his form at the start of the year for Catalans at the middle of the field was really good. So it's smart play by Sean Wayne. You know, getting another big man in the middle of the field.
Well, I think the nature of the challenge, Dave, they started with 4 big men on the bench. I mean, we discussed it beforehand, and Mike McMeekin has that brilliant ability. He's a world-class back rower in his own right and had super form with Catalan. But as you say, when they stuck him up front, it was really...
Form was probably the form that got him in. The middle of the field form, the prop forward form. You know, before that, he didn't get selected in the squad. Played really well in front of Sean Wayne. Got selected, and here he is carrying the ball now.
Big heavy carry. They're not short of front rowers, are they, England? You know, a lot of people were disheartened when Alex Walmsley got the injury that ruled him out of this World Cup, and he would undoubtedly have been one of the first picks had he been fit, but they're not missing him at the moment.
Well, there's a couple sat down there of superstars, Mikolaj Olecki and the big fella Luke Thompson. Both can't get in this team, so it shows you the quality that they have in the starting side.
Watkins at dummy half. England 40 metres out, looking to restore the rhythm of that first half when they were scoring for fun. Farnworth with the step. Tompkins eager to carry things on. There in support. He's looking as well. Can't get it away. Not when he has suddenly lifted in the air and slammed to the ground. And the air's knocked out of your lungs, but he springs up and Williams puts the kick up there. The chase is on again. Makinson, he's chased hard a few times here as Tommy Makinson. This time the ball eludes him, he almost disappears into that sad stand.
So we're nitpicking now, and we're clinical, and we're thinking the last few kicks for England haven't been of the quality that probably Sean Wayne wants. So that's the kind of emphasis that Sean will be looking at. You're playing a good team, they have to be on the nail.
It's a real flash and flare to the first half from England. It'd be wonderful if they could reintroduce it here. And they'll get a chance with possession. It's clumsy. Says it all.
Really not like Edwin Ipape in sensational form all year for the Lee Leopards. Just drops the ball there cold.
Well, the fans here are trying to create a rhythm, trying to stir the England players onto the field. Back to the heights that they reached in that first half. Williams to Farnworth. But it's a sterner resistance from Papua New Guinea here. Williams looking on the inside again. McMeekin thundering it forward, the tall man. 4 tackles to go. England just over 20 away. McIlaurin inside again. Knowles helps it on. Wellesby to Bateman. Bateman searching for a gap. Can't find one, so passes. It got a hand from Labert. Just as well, because England players were queuing up on that left-hand side.
Well, it needed a hand, because they were stripped for numbers. Wellesby, Bateman coming back against the grain, finding a pass, and he had to get his hands on that Labert. Early Whitehead was Mike McMeekin, is it? Stay on the sideline.
That was better from England. It looked a bit more like the England in the first half, moving the ball and bringing John Bateman against the grain. I really think that's a tactic that's working well for England. Whenever he changes angle, he looks a real threat with the ball.
So first drive by Cooper to set the platform here. 5 to go, 10 metres away. McIlaurin goes left. Williams now pops one over the top in an invitation for Tommy Makinson. Great recovery from that Papua New Guinean defence. A little bit of soccer skills on the floor, but PNG get it back somehow.
What a ball from George Williams, but how did Tommy Makinson keep that in the field? That was great play all around, a great defence by Cummels.
It was great defence by Cummels, being equalled now by great defence from England. This is the line speed you were talking about, Kev. This is the vigour and the enthusiasm, the energy that England have been showing.
Well, they're going wide here, trying to find a way through, but Wellesby's across there. And it's a penalty for England.
Yeah, he's pushed Wellesby over. It's just a bit of frustration there. It's a good call by Liam Moore. Just pushes him over, stands up, can't do that, picks his leg up.
And here we go with the offload. Oh, I think he might have been out. I think he might have been out. That's how he kept it in play. He was out of play.
He was out of play. And they let him off.
It's a touchy Jack Smith. Missed that one there.
McAlorum. Williams. Cooper in, looking to get the arms free. 3 Papua New Guinean bodies around him, making it difficult. Back it's with Knowles. Wellsby, and inside comes Watkins. Dom Young was desperately hoping the ball was coming his way there, but it didn't, so England search back towards the middle again. Knowles, beautiful pass. McMeekan just tears the defender off him, onto Fowler, and here is Tommy Makinson for try number 4. He's the unstoppable try-scoring machine this week. And England are back with their inevitable try-scoring rhythm.
Well, we mentioned Mike McMeekan playing in the middle of the field. He'd moved him to the left edge now, and it looked like he should have passed the ball straight away. But he just dummies and then he sums it up really well and just puts the hands off. And Tommy Makinson goes in again. I think Dom Young will be screaming, pass the ball over this side like last week, because at the minute, the left edge for England is just devastating.
Well, here's the penalty from Nixon Putt that gives England the field position. They come down this left-hand side, and it's a mismatch. Mike McMeekan just throws his labour, I think he's away, or Russell, and just finds Tommy Makinson out there, as you say.
Dear son, you ask me how I live such a good life. Yes, I've had some good luck, like the day I met your mother. But it wasn't always that way. I've made some good choices too, like working hard and keeping my super with NASFA. They looked after it for me, which meant I could concentrate on looking after my family, living each day knowing that when the time came, I'd be ready for tomorrow. Love, Dad.
Close, 26 so far, 28 if he puts this over. He'd be trying to goal away from equal.
Yeah, well, and I think Martin Afaia's this week, isn't it?
Yeah, 10 tries he once scored in a game. But there's also that England record of 5. Nobody's scored 5 in a game for England. So Tommy Makinson's now got 4.
He was optimistic last week, Dave. Do you think he'll get 5?
No idea.
I think
There's the kick. There's the kick. Oh no, that's
I think they read your notes at half time, and you were so cock-a-hoop and enthusiastic about explaining about a new record. I think England purposely played away from Dom Young, just to stop you waxing lyrical about who breaks the record.
42 points to 0. The kick is missed.
I just think it's another positive, though. The threat that we've got on the right, we are joking. There's a lot of threat on this right-hand side with Wellsby, Young and Bateman and Watkins. But then the left-hand side, we saw today how threatening that can be as well. So I clearly see we've got strength through the middle. So we look well-balanced at this moment in time.
Here's Hill.
I think this bloke and Tom Burgess make a huge difference as well. I think Chris Hill's form in this World Cup has been super, followed by Burgess as well.
There's no lack of hard shoulders at the moment from Papua New Guinea, is there? They are getting stuck in a little in this second half. England remain relentless as Hill, for the second time in this set, carries again towards the halfway line.
And that's just the difference when Chris Hill carries the ball. He just doesn't run direct at someone. It's a bit like what John Bateman's done there. The footwork just puts them off and gets them outside the defenders.
McAlorum races up to dummy half. Last play. Tompkins kicking towards that left-hand side again. Johnston underneath it. Safely patched on a wet day in Wigan. And the shoulder from Knowles there.
It looked like he wrapped his arm there, Dave.
And the referee wasn't interested, was he? So Knowles will be relieved. Lachlan Lamb across the line, spinning it out. Now have they got a bit of width and a bit of pace? Well, Dom Young's there. Really close to taking him. Oh, did he touch the line? No, he didn't. Play the ball, Roderick Ty. New Guinea is running into pockets of resistance wherever they look. England keeping up this intensity, which is forcing mistakes and giving them another opportunity to launch an attack straight away. Tommy Makinson back on the inside. Tompkins dragged down. Good recovery from Papua New Guinea given what was coming at them. But 6 more tackles for England to use here.
Big Victor Radley coming on to play 9. I think now Mickey McClorum leaving the field. That's a different style of play than Mickey, but very smart, very tough defensively.
Yeah, Radley's here in the active half position. Morgan Knowles throws it left. Williams pops it over the top. Makinson with a little chip.
That would have been some finish. The chip kick to myself for a finish in the
for the record.
Just for the record.
I think they're trying to get him over for that trip, aren't they? It was just an act of over desperation with that pass from Tompkins.
It's really difficult to be critical of England today at 42 points to 0, but the way they've played the second half, the discipline with the ball, we just saw how flawless they were in the first half. They've just let a few, I think execution-wise, it's just been a little bit sloppy.
But you know what? It's hard out there. It's hard out there when you're a player. It's hard. Right, well, just want you replicate what you did in the first half. But half plays come on, half opportunities, and so you chance your arm. So,
and there must be even a subconscious relaxation. You go into a test match, fired up and ready for the challenge. And when you have the lead you have at half-time, there must surely be a relaxation of attitude.
To see the replay on that one, Dave. Matty Lees, who just caught it flush in the face, putting a bit of kick pressure on.
Oh, good header. Good header. So England back inside Papua New Guinea territory again. Still 17 minutes to go. They'd love to keep it at 0. They'd love to add a few more. Watkins with the initial thrust. Radley. Williams back on the inside to Hill. Hill's trying to hold them off, but they keep coming at him. 3 in the end. Radley. Tompkins across to Bateman. Bateman looking to step on the inside. Decides to put the left foot step on instead. This is the last play. Tompkins kicks to the corner. Not too much of a chase on here. Oh, there's a confusion! And it's almost gifted Dom Young a try. But one or the other should have had that, not both. And it means that England will get the ball back again here.
There's a failure in the talking to Jimmy Nutlick and Alex Johnson. Johnson's catch every day of the week. Nutlick, he needed to tell Jimmy Nutlick that it's my catch every day of the week.
Yeah, and it was another good kick. It's a pressure-putting kick right in the corner. You'd expect something. They put the scrum right over on the right-hand side. You'd expect some sort of shape now. All the team, I think they're even sending Dom Young to the left.
So here comes the feed, and England looking to spread it again. Can Makinson get on the end of it for a history-making fifth? Williams. Victor Radley marching back in here. Morgan Knowles. The big surge and the urge, and he's still driving, and 3 of them hanging on and desperately pushing him back. And now he'll want to get free to play the ball as quickly as possible. They don't allow him to do that, so England get another set of 6 tackles. And this now is McMeekan. 5 away and 5 tackles to go. Williams. Hill. Trying to pick a path. Can't do that when his legs are being held onto. Radley. Wellesby. Pushes them off. Tries to get the kick on. Lost the ball. He was being tackled as he did that. And it's a handling error, and Papua New Guinea had it again.
Yeah, it was great defence by Lachlan Lamb. Just as he was thinking about putting the kick in, Cable ties his legs together and makes him look silly. Good defence, but another error from England. I think just starting to get a little bit frustrated. You can see facial expressions there on Jack Wellesby. It's just not going to plan at the minute.
It's scruffy. It's become scruffy for England, hasn't it?
All the magic of the first half. Just a little more mundane in the second. They are the scorers of the only try so far in this second half, and Papua New Guinea are still very much under the cosh.
And the consistent thing is the defence. I think the way that they've been flying off the line, as we see again, we can be ultra critical with the ball, but when they've not had the ball, they've just been fantastic all night.
deep down, Coach Wayne won't admit this. He'll say, oh, we were scruffy in the second half, etc., etc. But they'll be quietly pleased that they've had to bend their shoulders a little bit and reinforce some of those defensive messages.
England's defence coming across in numbers again, and once more there's just simply no way through. Jimmy Nutlick picking up from the heels of Olam, and Lamb had to hurry that kick because he was being closed down very quickly. The bounce is kind enough for England. Tommy Makinson immediately beginning searching round the edges, but good hunting tackle coming his way from Dan Russell. Farnworth. Farnworth's going to have a dabble. There's a little look at what's ahead of him. Has that run? Tompkins is taking over the dummy half duties. He's just ushered Victor Radley away, but before he can play it, Herbie Farnworth's knocked it on. The New Guinean fans
going for a captain's challenge, would they?
Yeah. Well, the referee's original version here was a knock-on, so let's hear from the video referee, Adam G.
Video ref to match director. We have a captain's challenge from England on the ruling of a knock-on. I just need all available angles nice and slow on the ball, please. Okay, I'm going to need something from the touchline view if you've got an angle, please. Just looking to see if there's any ruck interference or the ball's just lost. Keep playing, keep playing. Still lose sight of some of that ball. Have you got one from the far side, please? A camera angle from the far side? This might be the best. So he's locked onto the hand, the defender. But then Herbie just surges forward and loses possession of the ball. There's no intent to strip there or ruck interference. The challenge is unsuccessful. Thank you, Director.
So as you were, referee Liam Moore got it spot on right at the start. Technology proving that. Sean Wayne's not happy with that, but Papua New Guinea with a feed at the scrum on the halfway line.
And I don't think it'll be the decision that he's not happy with. I think it'll be the fact that it's another error and they just can't continue this momentum, because if the game just fizzles out now for the next 13 minutes the way it's going, there'll be a feeling of, yeah, we've got the job done, but it won't be as good as that was an amazing performance, and that's where they need to get to.
Get themselves back up again.
You're bang on, Kev. You're bang on there. It's all about getting themselves back up again, but they don't want to be finishing the game in this kind of damp style, if that's the right expression.
Yeah, the crowd just need a little bit more as well. I think, a full house in here today. They had a fantastic party in the first half, and they want more of that.
Is that you speaking as a party animal? Anything but.
30 metres away, Papua New Guinea in an encouraging position at the moment. More encouraging than they've had for most of the day. Up gets Sylvester Namo. And here they come again with a heavy artillery down the middle, but England's defence is reacting well enough. Wellington Albert put on his back. Nelson Boas, by the way, is in an acting half position. Here's Olam with a kick which takes a deflection, I think played up by England. So this should be Papua New Guinea's head and feed, or at least their possession. They tap restart.
Oh, like a
No,
ricochet.
no, he's not given it as played up by England. England have the ball.
Can he captain challenge that? Can he play the ball and just kick it out?
No, it has gone Papua New Guinea's way.
I was looking for a captain's challenge. I was right, Kev.
It has gone Papua New Guinea's way, and out of dummy half, Watson Boas puts it to that right-hand side, and Papua New Guinea desperate for points here. That would be shared in Port Moresby and Ley, Mount Hagen. They want to see their side get something here against England, and they might have it! Oh, Jimmy Nutlick diving in, and he has touched it down. Papua New Guinea finally have something to cheer. They're proud of the moment. They love the moment. They got 4 points here against England.
And it's very similar to Tommy Makinson's try when Sam Tompkins kicked it in the first half. I initially thought, oh no, play two, that might be a bit too soon, but Jimmy Nutley, he just flies onto the ball. You know, we see great shape. It's Alex Johnson who comes out wide, he sums it up perfect. Dom Young's just a little bit too far up. That's a fantastic finish. And he does well to get his head out of the way. The kazoo boardings just before he hits it, Nobby.
Good wheel well from Jimmy Nutley because he had to get there because he was skiddling away. And like you say, brilliant kick from Johnson, and Nutley finishes the job. And Papua New Guinea will be certainly satisfied with what they've dished up in this second half, won't they?
And it's probably another good sort of lesson for this England side. If you do spill so much ball, you know, we look fantastic in the first half.
Great kick from Reece Martin. We know how good a goal kicker he is. And that's a terrific hit. 42 points to 6 now. Jimmy Nutley, the try scorer. 3 tries in 3 games at this World Cup.
That's some kick from Reece Martin.
There's the kick.
Wow.
42-6 doesn't change direction of travel this next week. England heading south for Arsenal. Papua New Guinea heading home. But it does give them something at least to feel a little cheered by on what has been otherwise a damp and miserable afternoon for Papua New Guinea, and they're being forced backwards again here. Dummy half is taken by Boas. Just over 23,000 here today, and I'm being told that is a record for a Rugby League World Cup quarter-final. So that's a decent turnout. England keeping the yardage to minimum here.
In the main, England have defended really, really well. They've joined things up. They've had kick pressure like we see now from Chris Hill and all the kickers. All they've joined up it. They've joined in from marker and worked together.
Here's Mickinson just looking to cook something up in typical Tommy style. Loves to take them on. Tompkins, now Farnworth, seeing the quality of his footwork, strength of his carry.
And the quality of Sam Tompkins as well, just how composed at the back. You know, I think he's been a perfect foil for Williams and Wellesby. Just that senior head. It's been a great link up.
Burgess back on. England nudging inside the PNG 20. Bateman now hits hard and carries England to within about 5 metres. Couple of tackles still left in the back here as well. Wellesby. Williams, poor pass, has to take it on the ground, picks up, just has a look what's there in front of him instead. Set the platform maybe for this 6th tackle play. Tompkins, it's a brilliant intercept. Brilliant intercept by Russell on that far side. He's out of play. Great recovery from England's defence.
That's what you want from your captain. You know, he puts the kick in and it's just millimetres off being perfect, and Russell just plucks it out with one arm. But then he gets back there. Maybe Farnworth looked like he was going to score, but he gets back there. Shows his effort for his team. Gets the ball back.
Yeah, brilliant from Sam Tompkins. Just not quite the perfection on your kick, as you point out there, Kieran. But he makes amends for that error and says, you're not looking at the length of field, embarrassing me, and pushes him out. And gives England field position again.
What can they cook up here? 6 minutes to play, and England back in position. McMeekan with a try. Radley on the inside. Morgan Knowles now, short to Burgess, and Burgess pushing and pushing. Still pushing, still pushing. Eventually now, Radley waits, has to be patient. Burgess to his feet, and it's a short one this time to Matty Lees. But again, stout resistance from that Papua New Guinean defence. Radley over the top to Tompkins. They're drifting left. Williams puts away for Tommy Makinson for a history-making 5th try. No one in an England shirt has ever scored 5 in one game. Well, Tommy Makinson has just written his name into the record books today. Count them. 5 tries. What a performance from Tommy Makinson.
What were you saying about wingers don't count the tries and know what that is? You see the big 5 go up straight away.
And it's a real smart play from Tompkins again. George Williams and Jack Wellesby, each time they're getting a little bit wider. Radley did it in the first half, and Tompkins fills in there just to get them on, the outside shoulder, that last couple of defenders, which opens up the long ball. He's thrown it a couple of times. On that time, it was perfection. Tommy Makinson. How many points is that now, Dave?
Thanks for that. 30. 30 points. 5 tries is 20. 5 goals is 10, so 30 points. Felt like I was back at school then.
Well, for all the listeners at home, he's got his shoes and socks off and using his toes as well as his fingers.
Tight to the touchline. Creeping ever closer to the individual point-scoring record. If he can put this one over, it looks good. Oh, he's hit the post. Hit the post and bounces out. So he remains on 30 points, and England remain on 46 points to 6.
It's brilliant from Sam Tompkins. He releases George Williams, who goes at the line. And it's an in and out from Tommy Makinson and a brilliant finish.
He makes it difficult look easy, doesn't he, Tommy Makinson? That was a tough finish there.
Well, it's the other wingers who've been grabbing the headlines, isn't it? Ryan Hall with his exploits in his overall international record, and Dom Young with all he's been doing at this World Cup. But Tommy Makinson, a Golden Boot winner 4 or 5 years ago, is grabbing his place in the limelight. And we're going to end with a bit of heat to the game as well. Everybody's getting involved here. So you two have got the Kazoo player of the match to think about as well. There's one name in the headlights, isn't there?
Yeah, I think Tom Burgess has been fantastic today, and he's been backed up by all his pack teammates. But Tommy Makinson, scoring 5 tries, 30 points. His overall game has been superb. So me and Nobby have chosen him as the Kazoo player of the match tonight.
You score 5 tries and don't get player of the match, you'd be wondering what was happening, wouldn't you?
Depends if Dom Young's on the other side and he scored 6.
This is the moment that sparked a bit of energy.
Yeah, Morgan just doesn't like it, does he? And he's put his elbow into his face, and Reece Martin rightly gets a bit frustrated with that after 6 or 7 rubs of the chin.
St Helens against Leeds. They've had some rivalry down the years, haven't they, in Super League? 2 individuals representing those 2 teams.
Now, like I've given against PNG then there, the penalty's going against Morgan Knowles, or what he causes the action. Yes, mate. Okay, so the penalty's to PNG.
So penalty goes Papua New Guinea's way. Explanation there from Liam Moore. Not going to be over concerned, is he? 2 minutes to play.
Oh, he'll want to keep him out here for sure, won't he, Nobby? He'll not want to finish this last couple of minutes with Papua New Guinea getting another score.
Don't want to spoil his day. There's confirmation, the Kazoo player of the match, Tommy Makinson, but he's got a bit of defensive work to do here, as have his teammates, because with just over 90 seconds to play, Papua New Guinea are looking to finish with a bit of brightness on what has been a grey day, and This is Labour, who's almost found a way through. Tricky player, but England's defence responded. Big effort from Mackenzie Yeh. Here's Watson Boas. Another set of 6. 1 minute to play. Another set of 6. So Papua New Guinea will get a full set, you'd think. They've got time to go through this full set to try and get themselves into double figures. If they can get out of Watson, pick the ball up. There he goes. He picks it up. In by Mackenzie Yeh again. And he's dropped the ball. Dropped the ball. England will have it back. They're in no rush to pick it up and carry on. That will be job done. It's a scrum down. Nobody's in a rush to get there. Referee stops the clock.
Victor the inflictor still going. The 79th minute.
You have to put that down as a forced error, wouldn't you? The attentions of Victor.
I think have we got a captain's challenge? We've got a captain's challenge
on
here.
the decision of a knock-on. Right, please see all available angles of the ball as it goes into the tackle.
Very, very optimistic.
What actually is the challenge?
I think he's saying he's knocked the ball out, but for me it was just a committed tackle from Radley coming round.
Okay, so we have possession here. Okay, so he looks to offload. Victor Radley is just making a tackle, and the Papua New Guinea player loses possession into the English player. The challenge is unsuccessful.
So again, the referee on the field gets it right. And England will finish with a scrum head and feet here with 20 seconds
I wonder
to
if
go.
the referee runs to the scrum and goes, told you.
Too professional for that.
Here we go, boys. Locking right. Lock in.
Sam Tompkins to feed the ball in. The last embers is what has been a glowing performance here. There might be a 6 for Tommy Makinson as he puts the skates on, but the kick not quite a 20-40, I don't think.
I think if the kick were on there, I think he had the legs on his opposite.
Ball's out of play. They'll just count the clock down now. What a performance from Tommy Makinson. History making. 5 tries for him. Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales, I'm sure, has been impressed by that England performance today. Following up England's winnings, 54-4 win against Canada. England's men have dispatched of Papua New Guinea 46 points to 6. And they're off to Arsenal next week for a semi-final against either Samoa or Tonga.
Job done. Brilliant performance for England in the overall, and things that Coach Wayne can hit them up with through this week to get better.
I think it's time to get excited as fans and as people involved in this game. I agree with what you said before, Nobby. Sometimes we're a bit too eager to bash our nation and our side. We were fantastic today.
Well, we're going to get some live reaction from down there in just a second. But it has to be said that next week we keep saying it every week, next week is going to be the toughest challenge for England, whoever they come up against, whether it be Tonga or Samoa.
And I used the words of Coach Wayne a couple of weeks